What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel and turning that bell notification if you haven't done so. Today's recipe is going to be bean and beef. Quick recipe, easy to make and enjoyable. So without further ado, let's get started. For this recipe, I'm going to use this type of beans here, the white kidney beans, but you can use whichever you prefer. So what I did here is I let it soak overnight to get rid of the gas, which I strongly advise you to do. I'll also add is that the beans ended up increasing in volume, so that's the reason why I had to switch the container. So be mindful when you're cooking yours on the quantity. So the next day went ahead and washed this properly, I think twice. Add some salt. Then I'm going to bring this to a boil. While that's boiling on the sides, I'm going to season the beef meat. My favorite, my go-to, as you can tell by now. For seasoning, I'm going to use paprika, black pepper, adobo powder, some ground nutmeg, some salt, and maggi cube. Give it a nice mix. Almost forget the vegetable oil, so about a tablespoon of vegetable oil, maybe a little bit more, to allow the spices to be fully coated on the meat. About a handful of diced onion, and mix it all together until fully coated to obtain something like this, and let it marinate. Even though the beans were soaked in water prior to cooking, it still took me some time. I think about 45 minutes to close to an hour to be fully cooked, or maybe halfway kind of. So if that's the case for you, you can just put, once it's halfway cooked, you can just put that on the sides, let it cook, and in the meantime you can go ahead and start cooking the meat. On medium heat, I will be adding some vegetable oil, about a cup of vegetable oil, maybe a little bit more. Once hot, I'll proceed on adding the meat to fry for approximately 2 to 3 minutes. After the 2 to 3 minutes, or once the meats are brown, pretty much like mine here, I'll go ahead add some water to allow the meat to cook. So the quantity of water added depends on the quantity of meat, or maybe the size of the meat as well. So add enough water to fully cook your meat, or maybe to your preference. Once the water is reduced and the meat is fully cooked, or maybe halfway, like 75 to 80% cooked, I will then add some tomato paste, about half a cup of tomato paste, and mix well to combine. Let it fry for 1 to 2 minutes until we obtain this beautiful, nice color here. Next, I will be adding 1 large onion chopped or diced. Stir it all together. Then add some water, which will allow the onion to cook and the meat at the same time if needed for a good, I would say 3 to 5 minutes. So after 3 to 5 minutes, at this point, the meat should be fully cooked, and the onion, which didn't take that long, and the water is reduced as well. So for seasoning, I'll be using the following: paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, some black pepper, about a tablespoon of minced garlic, salt, and maggi cube. Now we're going to give this a nice stir and allow it to cook on low heat for a good 3 to 5 minutes while stirring it from time to time. Here I'm just adding a little bit of oregano leaves, about half a tablespoon. This will give to your stew a really nice flavor, and that's the thing I love about this. If you never tried this, adding oregano leaves to your stew, I will say give it a try. So we're going to let this cook for a few more minutes until the oil start to appear on the surface and the seasoning, everything is perfect. Then we're going to add the beans, mix it all together until everything is fully combined, and reduce the heat to low if you haven't done so, and allow it to simmer. I ended up adding about 500 grams of beans, which is roughly 6 cups. What I did is I added the bean gradually to avoid having a lot of stew and less bean, or a lot of beans and less stew, which I will advise you to do this way. I find it easier to have, to manipulate this, I would say. Not the right word, but you get what I'm saying. I think. So let this cook here on low heat, and that's pretty much it. So here you have it, guys. I hope you find this recipe quick and easy to make, as I mentioned at the beginning, and you enjoyed watching today's content. Then if that's the case, please give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, turn the bell notification to be notified anytime a new video is uploaded on here. Also, if you try to recreate this recipe, let me know in the comment down below how was it, and why not share with your friend and family. Until next time, take care.